Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Mr. Muskie Charters, offering full-service guided fishing trips for walleye, muskie, bass, and sturgeon on Lake St. Clair and the Detroit and St. Clair rivers. Booking information is online at mrmuskiecharters.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson, and we've got a fun show in store for you this week. I'll take you out on Torch Lake chasing after Atlantic salmon on the open water. You won't want to miss that story. And Jimmy and Jordan have been working on some fun stuff for us too this week.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a few more things on this week's show, and this time of the year, you never really know what you're going to get. There's parts of the state that still have some good ice. There's parts of the state that don't have any ice. We're going to show you the last trip of the year from PM Lake on this week's program, and we're also going to have a really good salmon recipe on this week's show as well. Now, this is also a short show. This is the last of our short shows, as our PBS stations are now coming out of pledge, so it's a few more minutes shorter than normal this week, but it's jam-packed with a lot of good stuff. So you stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream. It's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse. Offering a variety of meat products, Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 and M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen. By the Michigan Wildlife Council, entrusted with educating the public on how wildlife in Michigan's outdoors are managed and funded for the use and enjoyment of future generations. Visit mioutdoors.org to learn more.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Michigan-based Vanguard has manufactured optics, hunting packs, and accessories for over 30 years. Discover all of our most recent innovations at vanguardworld.us.
Looking for one last ice fishing story took me toward home this year. Just outside of Ludington, on PM Lake, the boys were finding perch.
Nice, juicy little wiggler.
That's the secret, eh?
Well, it was yesterday.
The setup is pretty simple. 1/4 ounce of weight, 2 hooks tipped with a minnow or a wiggler, then hope for the best.
Sean caught him pretty good yesterday, but it's a little later in the morning. We're here fairly early. We're going to give it an attempt there. We're going to spread out with some, minnows and wigglers, and we're going to be bait fishing. And then after we get these set up, which we can fish 3 rods per person in Michigan here, we're going to scatter it around. Hope even Jimmy will catch a couple. I've been with him before, so we'll see what happens. I know if he's got one and the rod's bent over, he can do it, though.
And what kind of, now PM Lake, you can catch just about anything right here.
Well, that's kind of why we got spinning reels and stuff here set up with the drag set, because we can catch browns, we can catch steelhead. Sean caught a big sucker yesterday, so we can catch almost anything here. This is the Great Lakes. It could be pike, it could be, we're targeting perch, but it could be almost anything.
That is one of the nice things about PM Lake here at the mouth of the Pure Marquette River, is that you can catch just about anything that swims in our Great Lakes. And of course, perch was the goal today.
Little fella.
Yeah, well, it's a start.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get hooked up with these guys out here today?
Well, I've known these guys. I've done the whole salmon charter fishing thing since I was 11. Okay. So, unfortunately, I had to become friends with these guys.
Well, ripping each other has to be one of the best parts of fishing with a group of buddies. The teasing didn't stop all day, and the fish were starting to come around.
Myron, you're not setting the hook hard enough. Well, there's one. One for the skillet on a minnow. Minnow one. Well, we'll start with a small one, and it's something.
It's a keeper.
Well, we can't get skunked, so it is good for your image.
They're getting a little better.
They really do. It seems like you'll start when the school first gets to you. You're getting the little ones, the outside edge of the school, and as you get more, the middle of the school gets to you.
Okay.
It seems like the bigger ones are always in the middle of the run.
Now, most of these guys charter out of Ludington in the summer months, man. Even though they wouldn't tell each other this, they really know they're fishing.
And you'll catch the smaller ones, and then then you get the bigger ones, and then just like you say, it tapers off. But they all taste good, so we don't spit none of them out here. And on Lake Erie, where we guide there too, that's a pretty typical perch size right there. We catch a lot of eater varieties, and here you could take some trophy fish, 13, 14 inches here. It's renowned for that. But we probably won't catch tons of them, but we're going to catch a nice mess of fish to eat today before it's over.
Myron had what looked to be a pretty good fish coming to the surface.
Might be a perch, I don't know, something larger. Probably a sucker like you caught yesterday. Oh! There's what we call a pure Marquette perch right there, baby. That's what we're looking for. Holy mackerel, they're talking pike here. That's what we're looking for. Look at the belly on that sow. That's what we're looking for right there.
Well, it's good that we brought you today.
Well, I tell you, even a blind pig finds an acorn every now and then.
It's a big fish.
Ain't that a beaut? Look at that baby. Look at that. Well, that's what you come to the Great Lakes for.
How big is that, you figure?
Oh, that's so. Let me lay over the bucket. It's over 12, I think. Yeah. But I'd say it's probably right around here. 12. Right around 12. Usually it's 12 inches over the bucket, but that's what you're looking at. That's pushing a pounder. That's exactly what we're looking for. Can't complain about that. I got to pull the transducer out of the hole for a perch. We call that a keeper where I come from.
Well, a keeper indeed. What a nice fish. Now, one strange part of the day is that just a few hundred yards away, guys were fishing in a boat right at the mouth of the PM River. Now, normally that would make me question the safety of the ice, but we had about 8 to 10 inches and had a quad out here as well. All morning, guides would trickle in and out, and really the fishing has been pretty consistent here for a week or so. And it will change here shortly as the warmer weather comes in. But it was a fun day for our last ice fishing story of the year. The fish were steady but not on fire, and the day was overcast. But you would be hard-pressed to find a better group of guys to hit the water with.
Another wiggler fish. We're going to eat him. Just a gold hook. Well, they're starting to show up here now. That's good. These are like banker fish. They show up on banker hours, about 9 o'clock.
It's good for us TV guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Good sun, all that stuff.
Myron and Dave fish a lot of ice fishing tournaments all over the country, and they really say that this kind of fishing is pretty preferable to inland fishing.
We fish a lot of inland lakes, but this, has that Great Lake flavor on it. So the fish usually aren't as fussy as like the inland lakes. These fish typically, you get away with larger baits. It's just a lot easier. You don't have to be near as fussy. You can come on out here. You can use a lot larger baits and move a lot more. And when they come in large flocks compared to inland lakes. They seem to be a lot fussier, a little more difficult to catch because a lot of your smaller lakes have seen a lot more baits and people fishing around them, so they can be a lot more difficult to catch, especially the larger ones. But out here, when you get a perch that size out here, they're a whole lot easier to catch here. You typically, a lot bigger baits is the real key here. That attracts them better here. On the inland lakes, I would never dream of using the great big stuff compared to what I use on the Great Lakes. Here, where we're using just a sinker on the bottom and a pair of gold hooks, and fishing at its simplest and easiest.
Well, we soon saw why Sean does so well out here. His dog was taking perch from every pile and taking them to his. Now that is a well-trained dog. And Myron wrapped up our day.
Well, we've done better. We've done a lot worse. Well, we had a good time out here. Pretty typical Great Lakes fishing. We got some nice ones, as you can see from the smorgasbord sizes here. should be a fine eating mess of fish, and we had a great time doing it. And I got to thank Dave Ellis here for guiding us today out here, showing us some of the tips how to catch them. And hopefully we can catch a few more before we're done. But thanks for Michigan Outdoors, baby. It was good seeing you.
Well, we had a lot of fun today, and even though we had some tough ice fishing trips earlier this winter, it was good to end the season the way you hope each trip would go. Decent fishing, good weather, and great guys. Here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
In this next story, we will hit Torch Lake from a boat. Now, we were chasing after Atlantic salmon, but we ended up with a couple of unexpected fish as well. We had a great time out there. Morning, guys.
Morning, how are you?
Good. How's it going, Jim?
Pretty good.
Yeah? What are we going to do out here today?
Well, we're going to catch some salmon and trout. Hopefully get into some browns, Atlantics, and a few Lakers.
How have you been doing out here?
It's been really, really decent so far this year.
Yeah.
Cold water, lots of fish scattered all over the place.
Oh, awesome.
So-
All right. What part of the lake will you fish?
The whole thing.
We motored back over to the east side of Torch Lake and got baited up. What you got going here?
We're just hooking a minnow onto the lead core lines.
That's it. That's all you got going back there?
That's it. And then lead core. Huh. Yep, we're going to send it out. This is on a one color. It's got a leader, and we're going to put a minnow out there, and they swim real nice. And we go super slow, like 0.8 to 0.6, 0.8 miles an hour.
Jim found that pod of bait fish he was talking about, and things looked good.
Hook him up. There he is.
You got him?
Got him. Robbie, that inside one there, you probably want to move that. Move mommy here to yank it in. Yeah.
Let's feel it, Jim.
Feels like an Atlantic.
Does it? Right.
Coming right to the boat. Torch Lake has a pretty unique fishery. The DNR does stock landlocked Atlantics. Two different strains now. We get some from Lake Superior State. It's a small number. And then we get some from the Platte River, and they plant them here late in the fall.
And they can't leave?
They can't leave. They're landlocked because of the power dam in Elk Rapids. But they can get all the way Lake Bel Air, Intermediate River, all the way down to Elk Rapids.
Yes! Woohoo!
That one.
Oh, nice! Oh, cool. Beautiful fish.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Oh, cool. So what did we get that one on?
That was on a one color with just a minnow.
That single minnow on a hook?
Yep, look at this. Just a small trout bead hook. That's all we use out here. Pretty cool.
Very cool. Yes. One of the challenges Jim faces in guiding trips on Torch Lake is the fact that there aren't many anglers here to share information with.
You know, Torch Lake is one of those places where it's not fished real heavily for the size of it. I mean, there are guys who fish it, but the information is bleak, to say the least. All the information that I have is basically going off of what I did yesterday, day before, last year, year before, and it's challenging because it's something different every day. You got to look at things on your graph. You know, trust my electronics. I love that thing, and we just got to put the baits in the right spot. Oh, nice brown. Slow us down a little bit, Jimmy. Here, just bring him right here.
Beautiful Torch Lake brown trout.
They are just gorgeous, huh?
Yes, they are.
Beautiful. So what'd you guys get that one on? You're trying something different out here.
90 feet down on a Kevorkian spoon.
Wow. It's like big lake fishing.
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. Excellent.
That's a beaut there, bud.
With an Atlantic salmon and a brown trout in the boat, the guys had another fish on. Now they're on the bite, eh?
Mm-hmm. Well, you can see on the graph, our surface temperature is 36 degrees, and we just hooked the fish 100 feet down.
What do you think you got there?
Pretty sure it's a lake trout.
So So with yet another different kind of bait out there, Jim and Rob were able to connect with the third species of the day here on Torch Lake. With a lake trout on the line and headed to the boat, we were having a great day.
Nice laker.
Cool. Deal.
Out of that.
Getting into the fish now.
Yeah, we're getting them.
Torch Lake trout.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
Well, you mixed up your technique a little bit.
I did.
Changed things up, and it worked out.
So far, so good, right?
3 fish, three different bait presentations.
Yeah, it has been. No consistency. Normal day out on Torch Lake.
I'm not sure if there really is a normal day out here on Torch Lake, and that's part of its beauty. It's one of Michigan's finest crowning jewels, so whether you spend a day sightseeing on the shores or fishing with Jim out here on the water, make it a point to visit this incredible body of water in the northwest part of the Mitten. It will surely be a day you'll never forget, right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Well, hey, once again, we are here with Jim Wood at Antlers Fireside Grill, Canadian Lakes, just outside of the Big Rapids area. Jim, we have a bunch of stuff here. I see some salmon. What are we going to be doing here today?
Well, we're basically going to do kind of my take on jambalaya. Kind of, sort of. I mean, there's not going to be rice involved.
Okay.
However, the sauce I'm going to make is basically a jambalaya sauce.
Okay, and so this goes with salmon. Could you only do it with salmon, or could you swap in some other fish?
No, you can do, I mean, basically any fish. We've done it here with grouper.
Okay.
Clearly not from Michigan, but we've done it with salmon. We've done it with, you can do it trout. You can basically do it with anything. But
jambalaya. Okay. Well, I'm all about a jambalaya. Let's get us started here. How do we
all right. Well, we're gonna get our pan turned on here.
You know, and somebody asked me recently if there's a certain kind of burner that you use. But you could use any burner, right? It's a normal butane.
Yep. This one's great for TV because it heats up awfully quick.
Okay.
So you don't have to hear my voice as long as you would normally have to hear it.
Well, people have been commenting.
I know, I've seen them. So we're gonna add a little bit of butter in the pan here.
Nice.
Just to get things rolling.
And so does the jambalaya have certain ingredients that you have to have, or just kind of whatever you have around? Shrimp, I know, is always kind of a big...
Yeah, I mean, it has to have the Trinity, which in the South, that is green pepper, onion, and celery.
That's the Trinity.
That's the basic Trinity. And then it normally needs to have a tomato paste, or tomato base, maybe like here we have diced tomatoes.
Okay.
And then you can add, always needs to have some sort of Creole sausage, and here we're using andouille today.
Perfect.
So.
To make the jambalaya, add green pepper, onion, and celery, and cook for a couple of minutes. Then add tomatoes and andouille. Once that cooks down, add corn, let it reduce, add salt and a little white wine. Let it cook down for a minute or so, and add fish stock. Once the fish stock cooks down, add a little of the same blackening season you'll use on the salmon to the jambalaya. Add in a little cream and let the mixture thicken until it's sauce consistency. Add your shrimp and cook for about a minute, and it's ready to go.
Okay, so Jim, we're gonna blacken this salmon. I'm kind of excited to watch you do this because I've tried this. I never know quite A, how much to season fish when I want to blacken it, and B, when do I flip it?
Okay, perfect.
So walk me through this.
So, first we're going to get a little bit of salt on there. This blackening seasoning doesn't have a whole lot of salt.
Okay.
So you're going to want to check what kind you have. Check the salt level on the back.
Okay.
So.
It's pretty liberal.
Yep. And then I always take a little more than I would use because you're going to get a little that's going to fall off.
Okay. And are you doing both sides?
I'm just going to do one side.
Just do one. Well, see, there you go. I always try to do both sides.
I mean, you can. That's how you roll, Jimmy. I mean.
Well, I guess that's true when you order at a restaurant. It's just typically the one side that's black.
Yeah, they'll usually just blacken one side.
Okay. Well, see, there you go. I was double dipping.
Yeah, I mean, you've always been an overachiever.
That's right.
Go the extra mile. If you're going to shoot for something, Jimmy, it should be the stars.
Oh, boy.
So as you can see, we've got some good smoke. And whenever you lay something down in a pan, you always want to lay it down away from you, so it doesn't splash up and hit you.
Okay. So we've got a little bit of blackening on the other side, but primarily you're just doing the one side. And then would you look at the top of this fish to know when it's done, or how do you?
You're going to be able to tell just by the way it cooks up on the sides.
Oh, okay. What is the official name of this?
dish?
We're going to call it blackened salmon with Creole andouille and shrimp sauce.
Well, it looks good, smells good. That looks perfect.
So after that's done, you're just going to try to strain some of your liquid here.
Okay. Just to kind of over the top. Wow.
And then you're going to garnish with a little bit of green onion.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you check us out online next time you get a chance. You can do it a couple of different ways. On our website at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com. You can check out older episodes or this week's episode again if you'd like. Or you can see us on Facebook at Michigan Out of Doors TV. We're on Facebook every few days letting you know where we are and where we're headed next. Speaking of what we've got coming up next, we have our Big Buck Nights in store for you.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Speaking of Big Buck Nights, if you're watching this on Thursday night, we're actually taping Big Buck Night West in Grand Rapids as we speak. Now, that show is going to be on the first week in April, and then actually in the last week of March, we're going to have our Big Buck Night East that we taped in Novi. So lots of good big deer stories coming over the next several weeks. Make sure you stay tuned. If we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Showspan, producing consumer shows that include the Ultimate Sports Show in Grand Rapids. Over 350 exhibitors, outdoor gear, boats, seminars, Lake Ultimate, and Big Buck Night. The Ultimate Sports Show March 16th through the 19th at the DeVos Place in Grand Rapids. By Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By the Michigan chapters of Safari Club International. For over 40 years, SCI has been protecting hunters' rights and promoting wildlife conservation here in Michigan and around the world. SCI chapter locations can be found on the web at firstformichigan.org. By Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. With its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses, Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises on the web at picturedrocks.com. Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Calamus,